Okay, so what will we do is essentially we will mark all the integer values, we'll mark horizontal lines, and we could also mark our vertical lines, okay, and see the distance where they intersect the graph, okay. Now, how will you look at the y values? How will you look at the y values? Let's try to understand this. If I have a graph like this, so what is happening? F of 0 is 0. Okay, if I have a graph like this, which is cutting the 0, 0, which is passing through 0, 0. So that means f of 0 is 0. Now, 0 is essentially the greatest integer function for anything between 0 and 1. Okay, right? So 0, anything between 0 and 1, the greatest integer function of anything between 0 and 1. Okay, it's not an interval as such I'm marking, okay, it's the greatest integer function sign. So just try to understand what I'm trying to say. So anything between 0 and 1, the greatest integer function of those numbers like half, say, 0.5 or anything, will be 0. Okay, so what is happening essentially is that my y value for everything between 0 and 1, my y value will take f of 0, will just be f of 0, will just be f of 0. Okay, so it will just be f of 0 here. Okay, similarly between 1 and 2, and of course 1 is not a part of it, and similarly between 1 and 2, what will happen is that it will be the integer value for f, the integer value for f. So it will be marked like this. Again, 2 is not a part of it. Similarly, from 0 to minus 1, it will be just out here, a step out here, marking at minus 1. Okay, marking at minus 1, and so on and so forth. So now let me just give you an example. To clarify our point, let us just take an example. Let's take an example of y equals to x by 2, the greatest integer function x by 2. Now, what is the graph for x by 2? The graph for x by 2 is a straight line. Okay, when x is 2, y is 1, when x is 4, y is 2, and so on and so forth. So what will be the graph for y equals to greatest integer function x by 2? Greatest integer function x by 2. It will essentially be something like this. It will essentially be something like this. So from 0 to 2, okay, when x is 0 to 2, it will just take the 0 values, f of 0. Now, f of 0 is 0, okay, and f of 2 is 1, okay. Now, between 0 and 1, so between 0 and 2, all the values that it's going to take will be the value of f0, which is 0, okay, the value of f0, which is 0, and similarly for x values between 0 and minus 2, similarly for x values between 2 and 4, and so on and so forth. So this will be the graph for y equals to greatest integer function x by 2. Greatest integer function x by 2. Essentially, what is y? Y equals to fx, okay, would be x by 2, okay. Now y equals to greatest integer function fx is greatest integer function x by 2. Now how is this different from my y equals to f of greatest integer function x? Now this is different. Why? Because had it been this function, my transformation would have looked like greatest integer function x by 2. Okay, so you understand, that's the major difference between the two. That's the difference between the two transformations. That's what you need to understand. Thank you.